This just in, Cheryl. Area man wants to be happy, but he's not.
Our entire psychology is characterized by a profound discontent. That's what we're about. It doesn't matter, no matter what's going on, after a little while, we get restless and move on.
Thanks, Terrence. If I figure out what's worth having or doing, maybe that'll help. So, what is valuable? Need to be more dramatic. What is value? How do we define value? Way better, man. Way better.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Larry. Look at this star. It's a falling star. It's beautiful.
Please excuse me while I touch myself.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, or familiarity breeds contempt. Generally, we value the rare and uncommon in life. In economic terms, the more scarce that something is, provided there's sufficient demand, the more value that we place on it. We want what we don't have. But it's okay, I guess. We're born this way. I remember when I was maybe 7 years old. I'd recently graduated from a massive dinosaur fixation, and my new solar system fetish was just starting to reach full bloom. In other words, I was a super nerd. Yeah, was. I'm sticking to that story. So the following hullabaloo sticks out in my mind. All of a sudden, everyone was talking about this rare astronomical event on the horizon. Halley's Comet was about to do a flyby. A once-in-a-lifetime, sometimes twice-in-a-lifetime, event. Now, if this happened every day, people probably wouldn't have given much of a fuck. Evolution, the catalyst of life. We were built to adapt, but on a limited budget. Our conscious attention has roughly 50 bits of processing power per second. Not much in comparison to all the data that we encounter. With limited resources at our disposal, we need to prioritize. So our focus is generally on novelty, problem solving, and/or threats. We've got a filter for that. The more common something is, the less likely we are to worry about it. Otherwise, we'd literally be dumbstruck by every fucking thing that ever happened to us. We'd still be scum on the ocean floor. We would never have mustered the requisite gumption or interest to climb the trees, let alone descend from them. And we certainly wouldn't have ever made it out of Africa, or gone on to threaten the survival of all life on the planet. And what an anticlimactic epic waste of time story that would have been. Oh, wait. Boredom, one of adaption's secret weapons, had served its purpose. We survived. And then we thrived. The world is a series of miracles, but we're so used to seeing them that we call them ordinary things. I call this the anti-Voldemort principle. When we give something a name, it loses some of its power over us. Giraffes look like they're alien creatures, but they're not quite as intriguing as the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. Why? Mainly because we haven't caught any of those cryptids before. Bigfoot's never been classified with a genus or been subjected to the other conventions of taxonomy and nomenclature that go along with officially becoming part of the real world. So they retain a certain mystique about them. I really like giraffes. We get bored easy. Lottery winners are a classic example. The thrill of the big win often gives way to despondency or whatever melancholy preceded it. Seriously, there's a study that shows lottery winners are no happier than paraplegics 1 year after their respective life-changing events. There's an old saying, if you take off in LA as an arsehole, you'll touch down in New York. Still, an arsehole. Imagine, I've never seen a beach. I moved to the beach. This is amazing. I see the beach every day. I can't stand it anymore. I fucking drown myself. That's the challenge of maintaining a buzz. You're left always chasing the next high, whether it be a car, a house, or whatever society deems valuable these days. Eventually you need more and more of your drug of choice, just to get anywhere near the ecstasy of that initial high. Now imagine, this gradually depleting buzz is your life. I think I need better drugs. One more example of how the blunt force trauma of banal everyday intimacy can drain the lifeblood out of literally fucking anything. Remember when you were a baby? A tiny, pathetic, useless creature. You try to stand up. You fall flat on your face. rinse and repeat ad nauseum. And then finally, the moment of triumph. You're walking, goddammit. Well done, tiny human. You did it. Have you ever taken the time to celebrate the act of walking since then? Unless you've rehabbed from a near-crippling injury, odds are that no, you haven't. That's okay. Me neither. Happens to the best of us. Seems like no matter how much we have, we're never quite satisfied. It's the nature of the beast. It's not just a genetic thing. Society does its part for the cause too.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini.
And then hustle your face off 15 hours a day to get people to care.
We could 10x this motherfucker, Chens.
Do it! Just do it! Pull your fucking finger out, you lazy cunt.
Enough.
It's time to stop.
Having goals isn't a problem. These can all be great things, if approached in the right way. The problem is that our biology is sometimes contradictory. Number one, we're programmed to chase. So once we get what we want, if we're not conscious, we're going to be stuck in that mind frame of chasing. Number two, once we get what we want, and we do it consistently, a new status quo is established, and there's a good chance of getting bored and going back to chasing. All right, I'm ready. It's good to know what we're up against. We want to be happy, but the wanting in that sentence might be the very thing stopping us from really enjoying the happy part. Cool. So let's do what we do best and solve one of life's most intractable problems. The highest goal that one can achieve is amazement. So, is there any hope? Well, I had one of those days recently where it seemed like something, we'll call it the universe, was trying to pass on a message. It started off with living meme and absolute legend Shia LaBeouf eating hot wings. I wasn't there, but he was. Fully. He embodied living completely in the moment. Of course, I've heard all the advice about doing this many times, but thanks to Shia, this time I really felt it. Maybe this was a clue. Later, while channel surfing, something I don't normally do. Shut up. I happened upon the movie Groundhog Day. It's brilliant. I'm ready to adopt it as part of my spiritual canon. It's that good. The premise is simple. What would you do if you had to keep living the same day over and over and over again? Kind of sounds like my life. The film demonstrates better than I ever could that no matter how mundane things seem, the world is always teeming with possibility. And every single moment, you can decide what kind of person you're going to be. There are opportunities, always and everywhere, to truly appreciate and serve life. The way to cast this magical spell, that helps us to see the world in a new way, is so mundane, so ordinary, that it's easy to dismiss out of hand. But ordinary things can be amazing, given half a chance. It's all about Zen mind, beginner's mind. Sit, breathe, meditate. Go for a walk in nature. It's worked for all the great sages. It'll work for you too. Well, there it is. Problem solved. Oh, wait. It hasn't been 10 minutes yet. Okay, I'm sure I can keep this going. Gotta hold people's attention though. YouTube voice activate. We're that proverbial fish that only starts to really appreciate water once they're not swimming in it. But the truth is, we don't have to wait until something's gone to see its value. We can do that in real time. The world is truly fucking astonishing when you take the time to notice what's there. It's been said that enlightenment is like everyday life, just 2 inches off the ground. Floating sure feels good. The secret to life is balance. For every bit of yin, you need a little bit of yang, and vice versa. Like it says in the Kybalion, every truth is but a half-truth. I'm not saying that pushing your limits and slaying dragons isn't worthwhile. Realizing your dreams can obviously be immensely satisfying. It's just about discerning whether a future or present or past orientation is going to serve you at any given moment. I've got to keep reminding myself, if I'm always worried about the future, I'll never be able to enjoy it. Because once I get there, I'll be conditioned to keep looking for the next thing. It's not just what you pursue, it's how you pursue it. There's a constant push and pull here, It's difficult to transcend biology and culture completely, even for the most enlightened master. We'll always be striving for something. It's in our nature. Personally, I want to save humanity from certain destruction. See? I just can't help myself. Gotta keep on trucking. But for the sake of my mental health, I need to pump the brakes every once in a while. As I slow down and pay attention, I start to realize that I'm essentially living inside a miracle.
Wow.
What are the odds that the universe would arrange itself in a way where it would become self-conscious through us? Not very fucking likely. I guess I just admitted that there is something to the relationship between scarcity and value. Like I said, this is all about finding the right balance. Here's what I mean. If you lived forever, your choices wouldn't matter much, because eventually you'd get around to doing everything. Death is what gives life its zest. It's what makes it precious. So, I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Hey Larry, is that star getting bigger?
Oh shit.